Where we go. The purpose of this meeting is something out of the book Start With Why. And there was an example in that book. And, many of you, if you guys have been following me for any amount of time and, I'm a reader, I really loved that damn book. I mean, it was perfect timing for our life, perfect timing for where our business was, perfect timing for this team, Team Purpose Unleashed. And it was just really big. There's an example in that book about these top 50 business owners in the world, and they get together once a year, and they don't talk business. They don't talk about strategy. They don't talk about stocks. They don't talk about marketing. All they talk about in this meeting, it's a 4-day retreat that they go on, 50 of these guys. And in that meeting, all they talk about is their why. All they talk about was that feeling of just getting started, of building the business in their basement. You know what I mean? And or building that business when they were dead broke, or the adrenaline that they felt. You know what I mean? In our case, what's the feeling that you had when you joined your business? You know what I mean? Like, what's the feeling that you had, that excitement that you had when you just got started, right? The excitement that you had, you say, okay, man, this could be it, right? This could be the thing. This is it. I'm committed. And what happens over time is we drift away from that why. The why gets fuzzy, and then certain things allow us to kind of get away from what once got us really, really pumped up and excited. Okay, so our goal right now is to have a meeting like this once a month. And the purpose of this meeting is to hear other people's stories, hear why they got into network marketing, hear why they chose to be a part of this team, hear why they chose to be a part of Modere, period. Okay. And if we can do that, we really feel like that will spark more people to stick around longer. It will keep people going through, charging through, and on those days where you just don't know and you just kind of want to quit, you want to give up. And so what we want to do is, that's kind of the premise of why we're doing this. Just kind of I'm getting her up to speed. So we just but that's the reason why we're doing this. First, just let's get a good little, if you like that idea, if you like the idea of having something like this once a month, let us know. Okay. Let us know if you dig that, because we want everyone to have that same feeling of why I joined, right? How would you feel? Like, imagine as you build your team, if you're here to actually build a team, that's great. If not, that's cool too. Right. However, I'm assuming you're here tonight, and my fault for assuming, but if you're here and you want to build a team, imagine if your team showed up to something like this once a month. And we want this to be completely different than, a Saturday call that you can plug in and hear someone's story and all that stuff. We want this to be like locker room type thing. You know what I mean? Like, a call is cool, but you invite prospects to those calls so they can hear stories and things like that. You don't invite, you don't invite the guest into the locker room. You know what I mean? And, one of the events that we were at just this year, championships are won in the locker room. You know what I mean? And, a lot of people think they're won on the field, but championships are won in the locker room, right? So that's what we want to kind of treat this as. We want to treat this as like the locker room style. So just to give you guys an example, Wes and I will kick it off. Okay. And then we want you to come out, and we encourage you, even if you're nervous, come out. Because if you're nervous, I would encourage you more to come out than if you're not nervous. I know a couple of y'all on here are nervous. Okay. And that's cool. But I would encourage you, if you are nervous, to come out, and kind of, as you listen to ours and as we share things on why we want to make this home, and why we really stand behind, Team Purpose Unleashed, and what it means to actually, when if you want to do anything in network marketing, it's so much easier when you're working in your purpose, you know? And we feel like being a part of this team, we can show people a way to find their purpose. So then it just makes building any business or this business much easier. You know, it makes it much, you get more fulfillment out of it. Like every day, I mean, you know how easy it is to build an audience of people when you're in your purpose, when you find your purpose. You know how easy it is to like engage with that audience when you know your purpose. And it's super easy to plug people in and help solve their problems when you know that you're in your purpose. So Wes and I will kick it off, okay? And then we'll turn it over, and then we'll probably put a limit on like maybe like 5 or 7 minutes, something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe 10.
Say no. I'd say no more than 5.
No more than 5. Okay.
Yeah, babe. I mean, it's late. I don't want us
in
here till midnight.
That's why I asked. I just asked. I mean, I ask options, so I get options. And I know the wrong answer is the one I get. If I almost get slapped, that's the wrong answer. It's like 5, 7, 10. Okay, so it's 5 and 7. Okay. Damn, that's an option. Oh, scary. All right, so the first thing I know, we were both listening to this training that we felt like could really be impactful tonight. So before we share our story, know that there's going to be challenges ahead, okay? You're going to face things probably on a daily basis or not weekly or monthly basis that are going to make you want to quit, okay? The last thing that we've done it before, I know I've done it before, she's probably done it before too, is when you bring somebody new in or you have people on your team, you tell them it's going to be easy, or you tell them that you don't let them know about the bullets and the arrows and the stuff that happens when you step into the jungle, right? Like once you step in this game, it's better to let people know, hey, this is going to happen. Okay, then telling them it's not going to happen, because that's just flat out lying, right? So we want to let people know that there's stuff that's going to happen. You know, your friends and family, you know, they may not say to everybody, but, you know, they may not support you. You know what I mean? There's going to things that are going to come and creep in your mind that are going to want you to think broke thoughts. That's going to happen. There's going to be emotional things that are going to happen that are going to have you question whether or not you're doing the right thing. Understand that, guys, those are all part of the process. They're all necessary. And when we start looking at those things differently, we start showing up differently, because we start saying like, oh, you know, it's kind of like it's kind of like a video game or something like that. Like, the end of every level, there's like a boss that you have to get by, right? Well, if you just said, oh shit, a boss, I need to quit, right? No one would ever do that, right? A lot of you got kids, you played video games before growing up or something like that. You didn't like just quit, right? So, oh shit, damn. There's a Mario, damn, Bowser showed up. I guess I gotta quit. Damn, Bowser, right? You didn't do that. You stepped your game up, and then you beat them, right? And then you move on to the next level instead of, and that happens in this game too, okay? So, hold on a second. Can y'all see me? We can see you in the chat. Yes, we can see you in the chat. Yeah. I'll make sure I answer.
Well, we already answered. But what is that?
Q&A.
No, they have 2 different chats in this one?
It's a Q&A and a chat.
Right. Awesome. Stephanie can't even see it.
You should be able to see it. Let me see, make sure.
Are you on your phone, Steph?
Maybe watch it.
You're on a phone. This is that stupid one that I don't know why he did this, but if you're on your phone, you can't change it to see all panelists. So that is why, if you're on your phone.
Because you can bring, anyway. Pray. So you want to say anything?
No, go ahead.
No.
Go ahead. I'm just gonna, you go ahead.
Okay, cool.
I might just cut you off.
Perfect.
Let's go.
So understanding those things is super, super key. Okay. So we want to share with you kind of like why we got into network marketing, sharing our background. We also feel like this is a good kind of place to learn how to share your story, because that's one of the most impactful things you can do to grow your business is learning how to craft your story in a really simple way, share your story, and understanding that you think that sharing your story is for other people and it's really for you. And that's what we want everyone to get out of this as we do this kind of like locker room style thing is when you hear somebody else's story, yeah, you can get some impact from it. But like when you keep hearing your own story, your belief goes up. When you keep hearing your own story, the reasons that you would quit are outweighed by the reasons you would stay. You know what I mean? And that's big. That's where we all have to get to. We all have reasons for quitting. We have reasons for quitting, but the reasons in staying in and actually seeing this thing through are way bigger than the reasons we have to quit. Okay. So for me, because kind of the way we share our stories differently, they kind of like individually come together. So for me, I was a retired baseball player that turned into a sales rep, and I was miserable at my job. I was absolutely miserable at what I was doing. And when I saw the model of network marketing, I had no idea about it. I was like literally mad at people for not telling me about this. And so when I was working, I was actually working a job that was 70 hours a week. If you don't know the state of South Carolina, I was in one place. My territory was an hour and a half away, and then the office that I worked at was 2 hours away in this odd triangle. So I literally never was home, and I was just completely unsatisfied. But I was trying to find a way to build the business in pockets of my part-time deal. I was actually fired from my last job and used network marketing to never work again. Okay. It's been a really fun journey. I've been doing this for 4 years. And it's crazy because literally I just went from, this kid, retired baseball player, who knew nothing about network marketing, had no idea it even existed. And, over the last 4 years, had created something that pays more than any job I ever had. Okay. So that's a little bit about my background and kind of how we got started, or how I got started at least.
That's it?
That is it. That's it.
You're the one that wanted to do 10 minutes. I thought you had more.
I was letting you go in turn.
So for me, I started in the industry probably about 9 years ago. The company that I was with, I saw the vision, and at that time I wasn't a mom, but I saw the vision and I was like, why can other people have this life and why can't I have this life? With that company, I didn't have any type of support, had no idea what I was doing. And I ended up like losing that dream for years until I did have my daughter. And I was working, I ended up getting my master's degree. So I had a decent job, obviously, enough to support us. But I was gone all day, every day. I mean, I would drop my daughter off at the daycare at 6:00 in the morning. I wouldn't pick her up till 8:00 at night. So I was missing her grow up. Like I missed the first year damn near of her growing up. And a friend introduced me to a network marketing company again. And immediately I was like, this is it. This is what I'm going to do. I have no other choice because I don't want to work at this job or any other job. Like I want to be able to have time to actually watch my daughter grow up. Like my mom was a single mom. She worked 4 jobs and was never able to spend time with us. And I didn't want to go down that same path and have my daughter grow up and think, damn, I never spent any time with my mom growing up. So that's when I really took everything seriously. And then I'm going to kind of actually share a little bit about why Modere was. Yeah. So I was with another company and I built it the wrong way. And I also didn't have the support that we have with Modere. So I built a huge team. I was making good money, but I was miserable because I was on the road every night of the week. I was doing presentations all over the state of North Carolina because no one else on my team wanted to do it because I like babied them the whole way. And I was like, I got it, I got it, I got it. And so I was like everyone's mom. And I eventually got to the point where I was exhausted and I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I'm done. I'm working 2 full-time jobs now. And so I was actually done with network marketing. And then like 4 months later, 5 months later. Anyways, we had been looking around for different companies and nothing really sat with us completely because this was our thing. We both came from like shitty companies. Well, just they didn't align with our vision, right? And we didn't want to join another company and then bring people to this company knowing that that wasn't our home and we weren't going to stay there. So we looked into like 20 different companies and none of them sat with us. So we were like, okay, cool. Maybe we're just not going to do network marketing anymore. And then we found Modere and we found it at the right time. I had gotten aluminum poisoning from all the chemicals I was using on my body. Maybe I needed 10 minutes, right? For for all the chemicals I was using on my body, like I was a Bath and Body Works like addict. Like I would buy boxes of lotion and put it on all day, every day. And my mom was telling me for years, like, it's so horrible for you, blah, blah, blah. And I didn't listen. So I got aluminum poisoning for all the like the shitty makeup I was using, like the skincare, all this stuff. And so when we were introduced to Modere, it was like the perfect one-stop shop for us because I wanted to switch everything to no chemicals, but I didn't know the first thing about finding that stuff. And so it was really like, we looked at the comp plan, we checked out the products, we saw what John and Nadia had created with the groups, and it was like everything was there. All our list of things that we wanted in a company were all with Modere. And so that's why, like, we have been like, this is it. You know, this is what we feel 1,000% comfortable bringing people to. This is what we're building. This is what we're gonna build. And yeah.
No, I mean, and you know, so kind of the homework, if you did the homework, and the important thing is, again, we like list the things that you would do if time and money were no issue at all. You know what I mean? And if you had the business that you had or that you want or whatever, what would it be? So like we know, like in Wes's, I know when we did this for the first time, Wes's list was a little different. Okay, so there's going to be some things I'm not going to share that she's going to share. Okay, I just want to go ahead and say that right now. Okay, but you know we would go to Dubai. You know, we'd probably take a trip to Dubai once a year. We would have our kids in the best private school. I know I would write my mom a check right now for her house, and you know I cannot wait to stroke that $300,000 check for my mom's house. I know that we would have a black ESV Escalade that was paid for cash. We would have our dream house, and I know we would have a house on the beach. I know that you know we would be doing a lot. Now, I just listed a few things, but I know Wes has some things. But I wanted you to hear those things. I want you to hear, like, you have your list, okay?
Right.
You have the list of things that if money and time were no issue, like, this is what I would have in my life, right? And every time that you want to quit or you're just having a bad day or something like that or whatever, you got to keep reminding yourself of that stuff. And this is what we want, like, and when you share that stuff publicly, you know what I mean? Like, that's where, you know, you can like say, reach out to your friend. Cause like I'm telling you, just as an example, I reached out to a new person on our team today and, you know, she was just like, oh, I just want time freedom. I said, okay, well, or what's freedom look like to you? Being able to buy what I want, when I want, and how I want. Okay, well, what is it? You know what I mean? We all get in this kind of like surface level thing, right? Now, if she tells me exactly what she wants, where she wants to travel, what she wants to buy, you know what I mean? The life she wants to live, that's leverage.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's leverage. That's where you can say, you can send somebody a text message of that black ESV Escalade and say, hey man, I saw one of these today and I was thinking about you, and I just want to let you know you deserve it. You know what I mean? You keep somebody's dream in front of them. And that's where we want to build this team on. Okay. We want to build a team, team purpose unleashed, where we have people, their dream is always in front of them. Okay. And when you eventually get to where the dream is right in front of you, and it's the mirror. Okay. So you want to share what you want, your list? It's a long list.
No. I mean, just I'm going to add the house on the beach is in California.
Yes. But... Oh, yeah, we knew that. That was not a... But you see how she wanted me to get specific? Because she's like, this dude will...
No, just one thing. So I know I told you guys to like write down your whys just so we can... Because I want everybody to share. Because first, I want you to like say it out loud. I want you to realize why you're here, why you're doing this, why you're fighting that fight every single day. Mm-hmm. And because I want everybody else to have the story.
Yeah.
Okay. But one thing I just want to throw in there, you know, I know we say it all the time in ILC, you know, you start because of your why, but you continue or you keep going because of your vision. And this is what he's talking about, like the vision. Okay. So, you know, I started because I wanted to give my daughter a better life. I didn't want to work my ass off every day and never see her. Well, now that I have that can't still be the reason that drives me every single day.
Right.
You know, like I had to come up with a bigger vision of the reason why I'm doing this every single day. So when I feel like quitting, when like nothing's going right and I just have that day and I'm like, oh, I'm just over it, I want to quit, I can look at this list and think of all this shit that like will come true if I just keep pushing.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what you need to like really just focus on all the time. Like your why is going to change. Your vision is going to change. It better change, but stay focused on
it. True that. So who wants to go first? Who wants to come out? Again, kind of share your background. You know what I mean? Get used to telling people, hey, you know what? I'm a nurse and you know, build this, you know,
thing. Say nerd.
I'm a nerd full time, part time. I'm doing this, doing this little business over here. But yeah, I mean, I just love being a nerd. All right, so who's up first? Who wants to share their story a little bit? Again, Reader's Digest version and your top things that you want. Typically top 3. I think the top 3 is the most important. Okay, Connie, what up? I will, let's see, make you a panelist. And let's go. Yeah, and next time I probably won't do the webinar thing. Hey, let me make sure you're unmuted. There you go. What's up, Connie?
Hey.
How you doing?
Good. I just walked in from the gym, so I'm like
nice.
trying to get dinner and all this stuff.
Burning off those Brazilian beers, huh?
Oh my God, yes. It's legit on effective today. No. So my story, I am a nurse. I've been a nurse for 28 years. And I got into network marketing. It's been a little over 4 years ago. I had no clue what it was. I started it because of products. I was in a horrible place in my life, majorly overweight, majorly depressed. And so it just kind of led into the business part. But network marketing is actually what led me to know that I could dream again, because I didn't know how to do it. Like, I was hopeless. And so it opened up that world of possibility to me. And once I saw that, it was on. Like, I knew that I was working a corporate job, working long hours, managing a bunch of people I didn't want to be around, you know. And I'm like, I gotta have another way. And I worked all of my life and didn't get to spend time with my kids. I mean, that's just how it was. They were in daycare the whole time. So everybody else got to see them walk first and do all the first things. And so now I'm a grandma. And so my big why is I'm going to be there for my boo-boo. And we're going to do fun stuff. And, you know, just being an example, I think, to my family and a lot of other people, because I really feel like a lot of people have lost that sense of hope or don't even know that this stuff is out there. And so that's a big one for me. I want the time, I make decent money. I'm a nurse, but I don't have a lot of time to spend it or to do anything, So that's a big thing. And what do I want? I want a white Range Rover, blinged out rims. I know exactly what it looks like.
Connie's got a little thug, and she's like, I know I want it.
I do. Beach house, that's a big one. And taking my family on a vacation, because my mom has worked hard all of her life. She's helped us out so much. And her dream trip is Hawaii, and that's my goal. Taking her there.
That's awesome. That's huge.
I love it.
And let me ask you a question, because this is something that, an awesome story, and I love hearing that, because this is what helps us too. You know what I mean? Like really being able to hear other people's stories, and it's so awesome that you shared that. But I know when you started, I know you said you wanted your own private practice, because when you got into nursing, you wanted to you got into nursing for a reason. Mm-hmm. And obviously, nursing, the medical field isn't what it used to be, or what it's supposed to be. And I mean, is that private practice or is that something that you still want to do?
It is. I have so many things. It's hard to remember them all. But no, with my job now, I don't work with patients directly, so I lost that sense of feeling like I was making a difference for somebody, because honestly, it's all about money and, getting people in and out. I hate to say it. But with this, I feel like I can really make a difference for other people. And starting something where people can get like a holistic way of taking care of themselves, because the mind is the biggest thing. Because I have a struggle the majority of my life with depression and anxiety and stuff, and finding ways to cope, and especially people in jobs that they don't like, giving them away, if they don't want out of that job, at least to come to a good place mentally. So yeah, that's a big thing. And with Modere, I was with another company for about 3 years, and I loved the products, and I stuck around for that for a long time, and finally realized it wasn't giving me what I needed financially. And I'm just really glad that you asked the question if I was open, because I had already stepped away from that company, and I was ready to quit because I thought, I'm just not made out. I'm not cut out for this stuff. But this was, I think all the pieces came together at the right time, because I felt like in my other company, I was singling people out. I was leaving people behind just to build a business, and that did not feel good to me.
Right.
So with Modere, you can focus solely on customers if you want and have that money coming in, or you can build a business, or you can do both. So that's this is it. This is where I'm supposed to be.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And guys, can't you see how you can literally I heard a story about a nurse of 28 years that finally got the ability to hope back. And she's actually using this business to get her dream house, or a beach house, a white Range Rover, and take her family on vacation. And
some spinners.
Right.
Yes, girl. Yes.
and actually, have the capital to create her own private practice. As simple as that. It took maybe like a minute or 30 seconds or something like that to say that. But if you share those stories, and for you, Connie, I know how often when you do talk to somebody, how often does what just came out, what you told us, come out with, if more of that comes out when you're talking to prospects and just talking to people, that's the thing that makes the biggest difference.
It really is. And that's what I've found so far, when I just got all the other crap out of my head and are just being really authentic about where I came from and why I made the decision. It makes sense to people. It's like, I'm not hiding anything. This is what happened. Right, and they're like, crap, yeah, I'm in this company for 5 years because I like the lotion. Seriously?
Right. And it's real when you're like, yo, I didn't get to spend time with my kids, and I'll be damned if I don't get to spend time with my grandson.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't share your story, how many people wouldn't get to spend time with their kids if you didn't ask if they're open? Same thing you said to me, right?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And so so hats off to you. Definitely proud of you. And that's an awesome story. We really appreciate you sharing that. It's awesome.
Thank you guys. And I love this. Love it.
Awesome. We'll keep doing it, and we'll
and every month we'll have more and more people.
We'll pack this thing out, and we'll have to probably upgrade our Zoom account again.
There you go.
Awesome. Well, who's next? And we appreciate you again, Connie. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Angela? All right, cool. All right. What is up, Angel?
What's up?
Angel,
Okay.
What up?
How's everybody doing?
We're good.
Okay. So I have several pieces to my story. So I was a nurse, like Connie, for about 10 years before I got sick. And I too, a lot of people have heard my disabled story, but there's more to it. So I was a nurse for 10 years, and I kind of was like Connie. I saw, especially when I did get sick, because I saw the change from being in the field and being the patient and the over medication and what it was doing to my health without, it was hurting me more than it was helping me. And we were treating patients I didn't like how things were going. And I never saw my kids when I was well enough to work, because I was working the 12-hour shifts that never are 12 hours, and still happened to work a second and third job during the holidays to pay for Christmas and that kind of stuff. Then I went to the doctor one day and was told, you're never going to work again. I'd never heard about network marketing, did not know what this industry was, didn't have a clue. And just in 15 seconds, my income went to zero. And a couple of years later, a friend of mine asked me to please join her thing because she'd never recruited anybody. And I was like, yeah, where do I sign? I need to make some extra money to supplement my disability. And I was like, it's one of those work from home things where you sell stuff. Cool. Yeah. Sign me up. So did that. And I still kind of had this mentality of it's supplementing my income, supplementing my disability. I need to make a few $100 so I can feed my kids and, survive. And I joined in kind of a party plan type of company, and I did it all wrong. Spammed everybody. It was horrible. Disaster. I did end up making a couple, I was bringing in about $500 a month with it, so I was doing fairly good. But I didn't realize at the time that it was actually something that could be a career. And I was extremely, extremely depressed. I was on the couch. Which was feeding the chronic pain and the chronic illness, because depression and stress will cycle into physical pain and illness. And so it's in this never-ending cycle. And when I dove deeper trying to figure out how to do things online, I saw what the industry really was. And I decided to get serious and no longer looked at it as a supplemental to my disability, but that I could get off disability with this. And this could be a career. And this is something I could do. But I knew the company I was with was not for me. I was making a little bit of money. My team was not. I stopped recruiting because I couldn't look a mom in the eye and tell her, you can build this business from home. And it's, you can be at home with your kids when I know I'm sending them out to be in parties every night and never be home, or take food off their table by telling them to buy all this inventory. So I stopped recruiting. And then, but I was looking for a company So I was looking, I was in the process, like y'all, of looking, and y'all know that, because I was looking kind of with y'all sometimes.
Go to bed.
Out. Bed. Sorry. Okay. Okay, thank you. So, my passion was health and wellness. Get the kid out. Okay, sorry. Passion was health and wellness. I was not in a health and wellness company because I looked at several and nothing aligned with what I wanted. I had to give up something. Kind of in the same, like y'all were talking about. It's like I had to compromise something with every company I was looking at, and that's when I found Modere, and I just jumped. And so what I want to do is I do want to get my health coaching certificate and go more into nutrition and holistic type of thing, and do that from home, or have even a local practice here eventually. But the main thing is I wanted to show people that you didn't have to succumb to your circumstances. There was always something you could do to choose a better way of life.
Right.
I wanted to give people back their identity. I feel like a lot of women, moms, I mean, men too, but they lose their identity in the workforce, in the being a parent, and they lose who they are, what they like to do. I can remember dreading meeting new people and them asking, "What do you like to do for fun?" And I would be like, "I don't remember. I used to like stuff, I don't know." So I wanted to give people back their identity and a purpose and self-esteem and self-worth, because I felt like I had absolutely no worth left, and that's what this industry gave me back. So I wanted to give that back to other people.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So that's kind of my Reader's Digest version of of where I was, where I came from.
So what are your top three? What are the top three things that
I want to, well, one of them has changed because I've actually accomplished it.
Very good.
But I wanted to get Charlie into a for real gym, so she could actually go towards her dreams and not just kind of a crappy cheap one. I wanted to be able to get her in a world-class gym that she could actually go forward with. Okay. And that came true last month. Paid 3 months in full.
Nice. Congrats on that.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
So she's now training in a world-class gym that just got 10 out of their 13 teams bids for Worlds this year.
That's awesome.
She hasn't, her tryouts won't be till May, so she's not on team yet. But so I got her there, got that accomplished. So that's changed. But so my top three, I want to give her more time to train. So that would be basically having hiring a private teacher, a private tutor for her to condense, so we could train and we could travel. Because my second one is I want to just be able to pick up and take her to Florida, or take her to wherever, and not have to worry about her missing school. So that's number two. Then house on the beach and a water sign. That is my happy place. And I'm in Dallas, where there's just nasty lakes.
Good luck.
So getting her either a private school or a private tutor somewhere where she could live out her dream, and for me to show her, that's kind of my big thing, is showing her that you can accomplish your dreams no matter what.
That's awesome.
Whatever it may be.
That's awesome. That's big stuff. So one, I want you guys to kind of point out one. I mean, I would 2 for 2 on nurses, so hint, right? But I mean, no, that's really awesome. I love how you shared, really how far you've come. I mean, something that we know about you that I mean, going from a place where you were on food stamps now to being able to, do the things for your daughter and like show her and like be the example. That's the real deal stuff. And it's huge that you had that.
This wasn't years ago. This was like 7 months ago. I was on food stamps.
And that's huge that you had that like revelation of, because we've prospected a lot of people that have been on disability, and that, and that typically that is the mindset of like, okay, I just need to supplement, but I can't make too much money, right?
Make too much money.
I'll lose it, and for you to have that like revelation, and it doesn't have to come like immediately. It took time,
Right.
It took time. So that's awesome. We appreciate you popping out, sharing your story, and blessing us with that. That's really awesome. Congrats again, because that's what this whole thing is about. If you can if you can walk away hearing a story like Angela's, hearing a story like Connie's, and maybe you showed up tonight or you're listening to this replay and you're like, man, maybe you just had a really bad day. Maybe you just like everybody told you like absolute like no, go eat dirt kind of no, like those days. But hearing those two stories like got you kind of back in the game. And that's what this is about, okay? So we appreciate you coming out, Angela. Appreciate it. And looking forward to more knocking things off the top 3. You're going to have to start like really like putting on the moon or something.
Like every month. Crazy. I love it.
All right. So who's next? Who's coming out next? All right. I know we Tanya's next. All right. Perfect. I will panelize you. And you are up. And unmute.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Okay, I had to come back on so I could see. Okay. Hey, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
okay.
We can hear you.
Well, actually, Angela and I just got finished doing a live just a little while ago. Myself, I am a former disabled person. My original why, what happened was when I ended up in network marketing. After being disabled for so many years, like I said, I did meet my husband. I used to struggle, and I would work like 6 months one year, and I would work like 7 months another year. Well, and I couldn't make ends meet, and I'd end up collapsing, ended up in the hospital, you name it. So, but I always tried because, like I said, there's not enough with disability. There's just not enough to survive. Well, then I met my husband, and we went on our honeymoon. We came back from our honeymoon, and I had a letter in the mail from disability informing me that they would let me know how much of my money I was going to be able to keep, considering that I had worked so many months one year and so many months the year before. And it got very colorful, my language at that point, because my husband, like I said, he was in network marketing, but it was just to get the products in health and wellness industry to try to help him lose some weight. Well, up until that point, I actually was promoting his site, not mine. Okay. Well, at that moment, literally walked behind him, walked in the kitchen, and like I said, I burned a whole bunch of ears, but I just walked out. I said, I'm going to give them a damn reason to take my disability if they're going to take it. Hence, well, that's what made me join. So my original why when I started, number one, and it still is this today, and it will all be that, but it's kind of changed up a little bit. My original why was, number one, to prove all the doctors wrong. All the doctors that told me that I would never be able to work again. Number two was to prove it to myself that I could become successful. Because the day that I am successful, I will be writing them all a letter, thanking them for telling me I couldn't. So that's my key one right there. Another one that I had was, just to be able to be with, like I said, do things with my grandkids, be available to do things. I want to retire my dad. And the funny thing was I always wanted to work on my own health too, but never in my wildest dreams. Because if y'all remember, I said the reason I was going to join was to make them pretty much shove their checks. Well, what ended up happening was because I was in a health and wellness industry and me taking back my own health, about a year ago, I got my walking papers from disability. But it really wasn't because I was making enough money at the time. I was actually because I was too healthy for them by taking back my life. So now it is gone fast forward, to, just becoming successful and basically sending thank you letters. I want to be able to retire my dad once and for all. At 76, he's still working. He shouldn't have to be. And my husband, because we want to be able to travel more. We want to go to Australia. We want to be able to do things. And my third major reason, and it came after I joined, when I saw my vision, was when I saw my son come back home from being deployed in Iraq with PTSD. And seeing his battle with it. And, sitting there and thinking, how can I help? And at that point, when I was aligning with that vision, with that, it's like, I want to be able to put service dog with the military men with PTSD and women, or the disabled vets, because they've given us so much. They've given us everything, and they deserve everything. And basically be able to pay it forward, because it was paid forward so many times in so many different ways to me. There was always somebody there giving me that helping hand, or that, push that I needed, that kick in the ass. Because I don't do, like, good job like that real good. People really have to kick me in the butt, because that's just the way I work. Because I'm hard on myself too. But like, to be able to pay it forward like it was done to me. And my big ultimate goal, basically, to be able to donate 90% of my income and live comfortably off for 10%. That's my ultimate goal. And the reason I joined Modere, number one, I was already on a health and wellness journey. I was already on that. I'd already overcome disability by being on that journey with the things I've done. And the thing that with the other company, I just was not able to, apparently it didn't align with me, because it just did not work. For whatever reason, it just did not work. And then when Modere was brought in, I saw it. I was not looking. Y'all know that. I wasn't looking. I almost quit it altogether, but I couldn't quit on myself, because I still had the goals. And I wanted those dreams, and it wasn't going to happen if I quit. So I really wasn't looking, but it aligned with everything that I was looking to accomplish and to continue going. And I could be able to help other people overcome their struggles, their battles, and even if it's just to take a step forward, and no matter what they choose, just because somebody tells you you can't, it don't matter who it is, because the ultimate person that can tell you what's going on is God. He's got the final answer. So that is why, and like I said, I love being a part of Modere, because like I said, now I can got the cleaner living in with it. So that just takes it to even a bigger level. And I look forward to, at the age of 70, still running around with my great grandkids, plain and simple.
That's awesome.
So, and one other thing, some of y'all, like I said, my daughter's an aspiring actress, and she's done things, and she basically told me that when it came time, she wanted me to manage her. So I want to be able to have that freedom to also be able to help her.
That's awesome.
And what it's done. But that's
awesome. And like, we never put down jobs or anything like that. But a lot of the stuff, again, that even the people that haven't come out yet, but a lot of the stuff you hear, it's not that you shouldn't have a job, but it's like you just can't fulfill all that stuff if you did have a job. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so I'm reading this book, How to Get Rich, and it says, like, pretty much jobs for people that actually want to get rich, because you have to get rich for you to be able to do all that stuff. You can't be broke, right? You just can't. Like, you can't do all that stuff broke.
That's right.
He has a really funny way of looking at jobs. The guy that wrote the book is Felix Dennis, the dude that made like a ton of millions and millions of dollars in the magazine game. And he just says, like, jobs are pretty much for the people that want to get rich, and actually do the work to get rich. They're basically just like honing grounds so you can like get enough information and see how something works and then go off and do your own thing. You know what I mean? Like you just see how people work, you see how the system works, and then you say, okay, cool, I got all I need. Well, let me go do my own thing. And I just kind of want to point that out because, like, I mean, it's not we never really promote like, hey, you know, quit your job. I'd rather people work a job that they love and build a business on the side, and quit the job that you hate. You know what I mean? And still go build something that you love, because that's where you're gonna have better productive people. That's where you're gonna find happiness. That's where you're gonna find wholeness. And but if you're playing on a level like Tanya wants to play, like Angela's starting to play, like Connie wants to play, you know, sometimes jobs can get in your way. And if you want to play that big, you know, just continue to go down that road, and it'll happen at some point, because it did for all of it. It did for us, you know, it just happened. So we got time for, and again, Tanya, thank you for coming out and sharing your story. Very, very impactful. And watch Connie grow. Just continue to watch. I mean, not Connie, but watch Tanya grow, because she just continues to grow every day and like step up and step up and step up and step up. And it's really fun to watch. So we appreciate you coming out and sharing, because I know it helped us. And it helped us get to know more about, you know, why you're really here. And it's going to help somebody else too. So if it helped, and if anybody's story like really impacted you, reach out to them, say, hey, do an interview with them. Like, you know, utilize it. I mean, this is what the team is about, and this is what the team is for. Okay. So we got time for uno más. Okay.
Congrats, Ange, by the way. She's going to be a grandma in September.
Baby's all over the place.
Not in
except for here. So we do have time for one more. And I'm looking at the list, and I would like one of these. And you know, it would happen with this. Okay, cool. Let's bring Emilio out, and for the other three, you'll be
You're coming out next time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And don't try to skip out either.
Right. We know who you are. We know where you live.
Shall do.
Yes, your addresses are on
the back
office. Good luck. All right, let me see where you are. Did you get kicked off, dude?
Tricky, Emilio.
Looks like so. If we can't get E on here.
Y'all thought you were safe.
Yep, all of a sudden his internet went out. Okay, there he goes. You got like What's up, man?
What's up? How's everybody doing?
What's going on, man? How are you?
I'm doing awesome. I just wanted to take this real quick moment to actually thank you guys for putting this meeting together. It's not only have I been able to just build the belief in what I'm doing, but I'm actually able to see what everybody else is doing. And it's given me the ability to actually connect with everybody else on a more deeper level than what I was before. So thank you guys. Thank you. Now, I'm going to give you guys what I call the really, really short backstory, because I really don't like talking about it. I don't look to the past for a reason, because I didn't really like it, but I'll give you this straight up. One, I was what I call the survivor of New York City disabled family. So I pretty much know what the AKA struggle was, and I've been there my entire life. So that was my main thing. My top number one was I never wanted my kids to ever know what that was like. Yes, I wanted them to value what they had, but I never wanted them to know what that was like. I never wanted them to see it.
Right.
And number two was when I met my wife, I had already knew before she was my wife that this was the person that I wanted to build my life with. And I wanted to make sure that, because I knew her background, I knew exactly what she's been through, and I've seen the family that she lived with. And it just didn't add up for her. And the way that I saw it, see her deserving so much more than what she had. And I wanted to be that person to give it to her. And from that day forward, it was probably about maybe 4 months after I find out that she got pregnant. Like literally, we just started dating 4 months after pregnant. I'm 14 at the time. So a lot of growing up had to happen really quick. Now, with that, as she started going through the gestation period, she was getting bigger, the baby's coming around, I started to really realize that, oh my gosh, how am I going to take care of my family? And then I realized that I don't want to go to a job, which eventually happened. But I knew that I never wanted to miss a single second. I didn't want to miss the first step. I didn't want to miss the first word. I didn't want to miss the first time they grabbed their bike and started riding. And immediately, this was like around when I was 17, I just started looking. I started looking and I kept looking until eventually I stumbled upon, I think it was Mobe, then it was Herbalife. And those two companies, I just didn't mesh with them. They just didn't vibe with me. So I kept looking for about, I want to say about a year more until I found Modere, which you brought me to. And I'm absolutely grateful for it because I've never found a community like this in depth where everybody's just close knit. It's like a serious family. I've never seen so much synergy in one company. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
So if there's the last three, the third thing that I wanted to get out of being in Modere was, one, I wanted to make sure that by me pursuing what I wanted, that I could give it to other people. Because I knew that if I was struggling with the whole idea of not being able to see my kids, what about all the hundreds of thousands of other parents out there who are thinking the same way?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the reason why I got with Modere, because I knew that with this opportunity, it's for sure I can help them. So that's pretty much the close knit of where I want to go with that.
Well, that's awesome, man. And that's like sharing those things that you did. I mean, that's what other people need to hear, and that's what you need to continue to hear too. And that's what makes you grow. One thing I want to point out in your story and in everybody else's is the big stuff has nothing to do with you. Like, anybody get that trend? You see that trend kind of catch on. Like, the big stuff has nothing to do with you. And the crazy part about network marketing is, once you stop thinking it's about you, and it really shifts from, like how you can get people to how you can, help people, to really how can you make an impact in people's lives. You know what I mean? Like, that's
absolutely.
So no, man, I appreciate you sharing everything like that, dude. And again, you're another one that's just, continuing to just make those steps, and you just keep showing up every day, and you just keep showing up, getting better every single day. I mean, how many people, who would have had kids at 14, are not where you're doing? They're not thinking like, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Dude, when you hear, it's almost crazy, because like when you tell the story, you kind of hear it you kind of hear yourself saying, like, holy shit, right? Because all of us are kind of like in this place where we're like, oh man, I haven't done anything, or I'm just, or my life, and then you hear, you're like, wait, right? You heard it, and it's like, wait a minute.
Like, I didn't have Talia till I was 30.
Right, and and still, what am I gonna do? And then you hear that, and it's like, so, but you keep showing up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And super, super inspirational, awesome stuff. And we appreciate it, dude.
Yeah, and for you and for everybody that shared, it's so amazing. I want to acknowledge you guys how you never gave up on wanting more. You never gave up on something better than what you knew or what you were around. And that's just so amazing. And that's what like singles us out from so many others, because you never gave up and you were always open to something better. And that's amazing. I mean, like Emilio, for you, you know, neither of your families ever, you know, even supported this kind of thing, you know, like, and for you guys to just break out and have a totally different mindset for, you know, everybody, for you guys just to have a different mindset from everybody that you were around. That's just really, really amazing. So
that's where those like, you know, crazy stories come from. You know what I mean? Where you're telling that stuff on stage and you're not afraid to go deep. And it's not a thing of like, oh, I don't like to go back there, so I don't tell it. No, like you have to go back there so you can tell it. You know what I mean? And the more you stay in the game, the more and more comfortable and the more responsible you're going to feel like, I need to share this. You know what I mean? And you don't have to share it in a way that's all over the place or you feel like it's crazy. You can start to craft it, you know, and it can become a thing. And that's what this is about. You know what I mean? Because next time you may pop on here and you may share a little more. And
you know what, Emilio, I'm going to challenge you to like do a live and definitely share that story and more tomorrow. Because
Tomorrow?
Yes, okay. Tomorrow. For why not tomorrow? Okay, because
right now,
how many other people have had kids at a young age and are now in a place where they're living on welfare and they don't know how to get out because they don't know anything different?
Yeah.
So to share that.
Yeah, for sure, man. So feel like if you got some value tonight, definitely let everyone know that didn't make it or couldn't make it in the group. Let them know what they missed. We'll pop the replay up for you guys. And again, if you guys enjoyed this, let us know, okay? Because something that we kind of wanted to keep in-house for now. Maybe down the road we open it up to kind of M-Life or the entire group. Probably not. We just want to kind of see how it goes.
I don't want to do M-Life. I want to keep it with just our team. I want it to be more personal and not such a huge thing. I told you that already.
I didn't listen.
Oh, we can take a vote if y'all want.
I don't know.
I'm cool with keeping it close knit.
But if you did get value, let us know. And again, you know, let people know you know, what you got from it, and then just take action. You know, take action over the next 30 days. Obviously, if we can help you in any way, you know, we have an open door. You know what I mean?
Yeah, guys.
And so let us know if we can help. If you don't ask, we can't help.
Yeah, reach out. I mean, seriously, never hesitate to reach out to us. Like, we're here for you. So don't think, oh, they're too busy or, oh, I don't want to bother them. No, fuck that. Like, if you need something, we're here.
Yeah.
So never hesitate.
Yeah, 100%.
Closed mouths do not get fed.
Exactly.
This is true. So, our time is up. We don't want to take any more time. We know we only want to take about an hour. We don't want to make this a crazy thing. But if you got value, definitely go take it out into the world.
Yeah, take everyone's stories.
Yep.
Share them, use them.
Yep.
Change
and
lives.
Let us know how we can help. Okay.
Love
and then we'll let you know when we rock the next one for April. Okay.
We love you.
See you guys. Have a good night.
Love you back.
Bye.